Barbara, tell us a little bit about how you're implementing learning programs in your position.
So I just switched positions internally. I used to be part of an internal talent consulting group, and I joined PGIM about 3 months ago. So I just finished the assessment phase of my role, talking with people, seeing what we currently have in place, seeing where there's need, and now I'm working on the implementation. What are the things that I can realistically focus on, and not just looking at learning and development, but also looking at all of the different levers of talent management. So diversity, performance management, mobility, inclusion. So our philosophy is everything is related, and you can't just focus on one. You have to look at the whole picture when you're designing your strategy for talent.
What ways are you using technology or social platforms, or how are you getting creative and getting this done?
We are not the first to use technology and embrace it. Traditionally, we're more of a conservative, let's wait and see. So we have a lot of work to do in that space.
Okay.
So I am looking, since I have the ability now to create something new from scratch, we're going to start with our new managers. And I want to, and which is terrific about today, I want to get some ideas on how we can incorporate some different things, be it gaming, be it leveraging social networks, implementing even simple things like videos or TEDx's. How can we switch things up and transition from what we have now, which is more traditional classroom learning?
Do you see any kind of difference between employees of, for instance, the millennial age group versus longer term, more traditional employees? Do you see that as something you're going to need to balance, the different learning styles, and how do you think you might address that?
I don't know if I subscribe to millennials are very different from boomers in what they want and how they want to learn. I think people are different, and each individual is different. And I come across boomers who are interested in having flexible blended learning, and I come across millennials who like to sit in a classroom. So I don't like to do it by what group they happen to be born in, but more individual, what their preferences are, and then try to have a diverse slate of things that we can offer so that it talks to each one of those needs.
And so that they can sort of pick and choose based on their unique needs.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm curious what, in your career, learning has meant to you. I mean, clearly you're faced with a big challenge right now in this transitional time. What does learning mean to you?
I realize that I learn continuously. So when I have NPR on in the morning on my drive in, I'm listening and thinking, how can I apply this to what I do at work? By talking to people, I'm always thinking, wow, that's a cool idea, or how can we do that, or that's interesting what they said. I have to remember that because probably others feel the same way. So I don't think everyone realizes that they're continuously learning. They think of it more as being in a classroom, doing a module online. So they think of it in a more traditional way, and I would love for more people to embrace that you're learning all the time and it doesn't have to just be in the classroom. I think that you never stop learning, and when you're 100, you're probably maybe not learning at the pace that you're learning at when you're much younger, but that there's always new things that you can pick up through other people, through reading, through television, through work if you're still working, right? You just have to be open to it.
And tell us something that you've learned new recently.
I'm really working on moving from being very good at acknowledging differences to accepting differences. And that sounds like just a switch of a word, but if you accept differences, you're not trying to change someone, you're trying to figure out the best way to make something work for that person and have that person be the best. And I use it in my personal life, with my 18 and 20-year-old children, but also at work, that if someone's very different from me or different from the way I would approach it, don't fight against it, but try to accept and figure out the best way forward.